Hello fellow Star Wars fans, it is Starrapter here and welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Weekly. And no, I have not just gone away from Star Wars Weekly, but there hasn't really been much going on weekly anymore, so it's been somewhat strange until now. On May the 4th, International Star Wars Day, it was finally recognized by Lucasfilm, hey, maybe they should put out some stuff on Star Wars Day officially, and that's what we got was the floodgates opening and so much news and content that was just awesome and almost really overwhelming. So we got the Clone Wars series finale, which I have reviewed on the channel right now. We also got an update to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, this awesome update that I never thought would happen. It involves a challenge mode where you can just go against waves of enemies. There's also a way you can customize it, so you can just add grid enemies to a grid and different things like that and just customize completely. And there's also a new Journey Plus. So for those of you that have played through the game on many difficulties and are looking for another challenge, there is that as well, and all your cosmetics will transfer. And I've been having a blast playing as the Inquisitor skin for Cal Kestis. It is really fun to just jump back in that game, and we just got word, by the way, from EA confirming that there will be a franchise now around Jedi Fallen Order. So a franchise to me is just not one sequel. That means many iterations of this game are going to be released, and well, that could be very interesting, being that EA is supposed to have its deal ending with Disney and Lucasfilm in 2022, but maybe they're gonna extend it now because that game was so successful. And speaking of games, we also got a new key art revealed for the Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, or Skywalker Saga. And that is something that I've been waiting for, because this game, ever since it got revealed at E3 2019, has just flown so far under the radar that no one's really even realized, oh, there's a new Star Wars game coming out this year, because it still is slated for 2020. And I believe we're probably going to get some gameplay of that very soon, because, well, E3, even though it's canceled, there's going to be lots of virtual events held next month for June, so we'll be looking forward to that. Also on Disney Plus, that came out on May the 4th, we got The Rise of Skywalker, as well as the first episode of the Disney Gallery, The Mandalorian, and it's awesome. I'm going to be talking more about that once the whole series is over. It's 8 episodes that dive into the behind the scenes of the making of the monumental, groundbreaking TV series, The Mandalorian, which I've also reviewed on the channel as well. And if that wasn't enough, we had both a feature film and a Disney Plus series announced on May the 4th. We have Taika Waititi confirmed to co-write and direct a brand new feature film. Plus we have Leslie Headland, who is going to be the showrunner on a brand new Disney Plus series. We have no other details on that, but those are now out there, and hopefully they come to fruition. Hopefully there isn't any kind of problems, but what's really exciting is that both of these Taika Waititi as well as Leslie are both very renowned in Hollywood, and they've worked on incredibly awesome stuff, you know, that they have experience with. So I cannot wait to see what these guys have in store for us. Hopefully sooner rather than later, because there's no expected dates for either of these projects. And that brings us to the main topic for today. And that is because we have Doctor Aphra, issue number 1. This is for 2020, because we also have another run of Doctor Aphra issues that started a couple years ago. And this thing has been getting delayed and delayed and delayed. It was supposed to be out April 1st. And no, it wasn't a practical joke. It wasn't April Fool's. It got pushed back because of the virus and everything else. And now Marvel and everything is just on a standstill because Diamond, the distributor, is shut down. They're supposed to be opening up at the end of the month, and that's when this issue was supposed to be, was I think May 20th or something, but they, you know, Lucasfilm and Marvel were like, you know what, it's May the 4th, let's just throw the issue out there for you guys for digital. So that is what I did, was I ended up picking up this issue on digital like I did last time with Bounty Hunters issue number 3. So this is the first issue, the first part of Fortune and Fate, and that just instantly rings the doorbell in my mind, saying this is very much like Indiana Jones. As we all know, Dr. Aphra's first appearance in Darth Vader issue number 3 was very much so an inspiration from Raiders of the Lost Ark. And, well, the generalized feeling that I'm getting out of reading this story is, man, they have captured the feel of Indiana Jones again with Dr. Aphra. We have a brand new creative team behind this story. It's different than the one we had for the first volume of the story. And reminding you guys, this one is taking place after the events of The Empire Strikes Back. And so close to those, we are just weeks away of what happened in the Battle of Hoth, because that's where we pick up in the story. We have Doctor Aphra. She is going to Hoth, conning the Empire. They're still there. They're still kind of seeing the remains of the rebels, and she is there trying to make a fortune and a benefit out of all that. She finds this really good artifact, and then a battle ensues, and her good friend Black Kirstenton is back in action. But we have a whole new host of characters that were introduced in this first issue. We have this one guy named Just Lucky, and supposedly he has history with Aphra, because he even mentions, oh, don't leave me behind like you did on Dathomir. And I was just instantly perked up like, oh, Dathomir? Every time you mention Dathomir, especially after Jedi Fallen Order, I immediately like, oh, where? I want to see more Dathomir, because it's awesome. So we get that bit of history. They go back to the Shadow Institute or Academy, which is where she's able to sell this prize artifact and make quite a bit of money for Black Kirstenton herself and Just Lucky. They're relaxing, and next thing you know, this graduate student walks up and says, hey, you're Aphra, and kind of just does a complete nerd out on Aphra. Like, she is fangirling hard at Aphra, and what happens is she ends up getting this word that there's these rings that are very valuable, and that she'll basically complete her master's or doctorate degree at this archaeology Shadow Institute Academy. And it ends up saying that, like, she says, oh, it's going to be worth a lot of money. And of course the alarms go off in Aphra's head, like, anything with money is really, really up my alley. So I gotta get that. So she ends up going and accepting the deal. And then they have to go and cite the help of this professor that got, this professor got expelled from the school. And they all basically make this deal where if each one of these people go on this journey to get these rings, they're each going to have a benefit coming out of it. You're going to have Aphra making a bunch of money. You're going to have this student who gets her degree with her dissertation. And you're going to have this exiled person get her job back at the so-called academy. So we have all these characters. And then we have this new character that is the antithesis, the villain of this entire brigade, and his name is none other than Ronan Tag. Yes, Tag, whatever, however you pronounce it. He is like the Bullock or whatever his name is in Raiders of the Lost Ark. This guy, he is very wealthy. He pretty much has a whole private army, and he showcases his skills towards the end of this issue, where he's like, okay, these people brought me artifacts. I'll show you how evil I am. I'll burn your artifacts right in front of you, or your creations right in front of you. And that's because I need this damn item, and I'll do whatever it takes, even if I have to send my own men to apparently their death. That's what they're going to do. But this entire issue was a great return to form for Doctor Aphra. Mind you, we haven't really been away from the character for too long. I mean, this series ended in what, like December or January, and now we're already jumping back in full throttle to Doctor Aphra. I'm very happy to see that the creative team is very much able to carry on the vision of what Doctor Aphra is, and that is that very witty, very zany, humorous, kind of lighthearted, but not at the same time approach to Star Wars. And it carves its own niche in Star Wars, which is what makes it so important. And I'm also looking forward to that announced audio drama that's coming out for Doctor Aphra in July. That's going to be all about her origins, but in audio drama format. So I cannot wait for that. So what did you guys think of the very first issue of Doctor Aphra? What were you doing on May the 4th? Did you guys watch any movies, play any games, read anything? Let's talk about all that in the comment section down below. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I talk about Star Wars on a pretty much weekly basis. So if you like this content, if you liked what I had to say, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, as that's the easiest way to keep up to speed with everything I'm doing here on the channel. That is going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you guys so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also included 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.